Hello and welcome to Education at SSBJ online video tutorials, and we were in chapter Some Natural Phenomena of class 8th CBSE. To start with this chapter, please remember we have conducted few experiments and then tried these demonstrations to connect the natural phenomena such as lightning, right? And then we have learned structure of atom. And why did we learn structure of atom? Because we wanted to know what all charges are there in every atom. Okay, after all, this phenomena is connected to charges, electric charges, right? So therefore, let me again take you from a beginning of these previous videos in short and then go in detail in the present lesson. Okay, so here we'll go. What we have studied so far is structure of atom, and every atom has got few more particles which are present, such as proton, which can be denoted as P here for our reference, and neutron can be denoted as N, and then electron is the lightest particle which is there in the atom. And we have learned that proton and neutrons, they are a bit heavier than the electrons, and they will be together always. Maybe in this right in front of you, it is one proton and one neutron is there, but it need not be always one and one. It can be two, it can be three, it can be even four, right? It depends on the elements. Okay, every element has got different atoms, so number of protons and number of neutrons will change, and that crowd of protons and neutrons is referred as nucleus. And where is the electron? Electron is moving around the nucleus. And what does nucleus is? Nucleus is a group of protons and neutrons which is there in the center of every atom, and electrons will be revolving around the nucleus. This is what we have studied. Electrons will have a definite path, right? And then we have studied that every proton will have a different, every proton or a neutron or electron will have a different charge. Of course, the neutron is a neutral one. So proton will be having a charge of positive charge, and electron will have a negative charge, and the neutron will be neutral. And what does the charge mean? Charge means a kind of force it experiences. Okay, and then we have studied that every atom will have equal number of protons, and in front of you now there are 4 number of protons, so 4 positive charges, and neutrons also are 4, so we need not write here because no charge is there. The atom contains 4 positive charges as well as 4 electrons are there. Each electrons will be a negative 1, therefore total charge of the electron will be -4, and therefore total charge of an atom is +4 -4 is equal to 0, which we call it as neutral, right? So this much we have studied in the previous video tutorial. So I purposely took the same content so to connect, right? Sometimes we happen to forget and then suddenly get struck in the explanation which we are giving in present video tutorials, right? So next I'll give you a few more examples, right, of the atoms. Let us take an example of this particular atom. And what is this atom called? It's a carbon. So it's a carbon atom. I said every element will have a different atom. So carbon atom will be having not 4 protons. Okay, it will not have 4 protons and 4 neutrons. Just count now. You can count here now how many number of protons. Here protons are given a plus symbol here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 protons it has got. So we can write here 6 plus, right? And then how many electrons it has got? it is given a symbol minus here, and therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as I said that equal number of protons and electrons will be there and also neutrons. So therefore tell me what is the total charge? Total charge is again 0, which is therefore a carbon atom is also a neutral, though it contains positive and negative charges because they are equal in number, right? Therefore to summarize that atoms of all the pure elements, maybe you take an example of iron or aluminium or copper or any element you take, the total charge, let me write here, remember, total charge of an atom is always neutral. Okay, this point to be noted, very important point. So atoms of all elements are neutral. Okay, what we have learned so far are atoms contains proton, neutron and electron. They do have some properties. Now let us study about the properties of these charges, very important. Okay, now this is proton, neutron and electron. We know proton is positive, neutron is neutral, okay, and electron is negative. Suppose if you keep proton and electron and we are keeping a positive and negative charges together and bring it close, right, what will happen? This electron will try to be as closer to the proton. They attract each other. They are unlike charges, remember, unlike. And why they are unlike? This is positive charge, this one is negative charge, so I referred them as unlike charges. So when unlike charges are very close to each other, they attract, and because of that you know that in the atom the electrons will be moving around the proton, right? You must have seen in the beginning of this lesson that nucleus contains many protons like this, and then neutrons and neutrons, and that is called nucleus. And then you have seen that electrons are revolving around. And why they are revolving around? Okay, why are they revolving? Because they are being attracted. So there is attraction, right? So since electron is minus and proton is plus, they are unlike charges, they attract each other, and because of the attraction, since the electron is very light, that is attracted more towards proton, and because of that it revolves around the proton. Protons also will be spinning, just like as it happens in the solar system. Okay, since unlike charges attract, what will happen if the positive and positive or negative and negative comes closer? Right, like charges will repel, okay, and unlike charges attract. This is very important property of charges, and this will help us to understand the phenomena of lightning. So finally, okay, what we have learned is like charges, okay, proton and proton, they repel. Repel means they move away, okay, or electrons and electrons, again they move away because they are like charges, whereas Unlike charges, that is negative and positive, if you keep, they attract. Right? So this is what is today's understanding. We will connect this understanding to the future content, that is a matter. Any matter you take any, even a cloth. This cloth is made up of atom. That means this cloth is made up of protons and neutrons and electrons. That means this has got positive and negative charges, right? And they will be equal in number. And so matter is always a neutral. But it is not always true. Okay, matter need not be neutral, and why it need not be neutral we shall see in the next video tutorial. Thank you.